What would you say if I informed you that Edgar Cayce, the most extensively documented psychic in American history, provided insights that profoundly altered our perception of consciousness during cremation? In his renowned reading 5I7564, given in 1932, Cayce disclosed information that astonished even his own stenographer concerning the soul's journey during the cremation process. Before we delve into these transformative insights, make sure to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell, as we are about to uncover verified spiritual truths that could revolutionize your viewpoint on death and consciousness. Also, I'd love for you to share any inexplicable spiritual experiences you've encountered in the comments below. Today, I will unveil 3 astonishing findings from Edgar Cayce's documented readings related to cremation and the soul's path. To begin with, what occurs to your spiritual essence during cremation, as detailed in reading 53618? Next, why did Cayce assert that the timing of cremation holds more significance than is commonly understood, as evidenced by his insights for a mourning family in Virginia Beach? Finally, let's explore the intriguing relationship between cremation and reincarnation, which Cayce uncovered in more than 40 different life readings. However, prepare to be amazed. In reading 57564, when a concerned mother inquired whether her late son experienced pain during cremation, Cayce's response was so remarkable that it transformed the perspectives of countless Americans regarding death and consciousness. Edgar Cayce didn't merely speculate on these matters during the 43 years spanning from 1901 to 1944. He provided 306 documented psychic readings while under a profound trance. These were not simple, arbitrary spiritual insights. Each reading was meticulously transcribed by professional stenographers and is currently housed in the archives of the Association for Research and Enlightenment located in Virginia Beach, Virginia. While in his trance, Cayce claimed to connect with what he referred to as the Akashic Records. Imagine this as an expansive cosmic library that holds every thought, feeling, and experience from every being that has ever existed. Through this link, he could provide answers about consciousness, mortality, and what lies beyond with remarkable precision. However, this is where it becomes particularly fascinating. In reading 16-618, which was provided to a family facing a dilemma regarding cremation, Cayce clarified that the soul does not endure physical suffering during cremation, as consciousness has already detached from the physical form. Then, he made a statement that transformed our comprehension of the dying process. He disclosed that there exists a transitional phase, which he referred to as the borderland, where the soul retains a faint link to its physical body. This period can span from 3 days to several weeks, as the soul adapts to its new state of being. The surprising aspect is that during this time, the soul can perceive what is occurring with the physical form, albeit not in a manner similar to how we feel physical sensations. Rather, it resembles a vague awareness, akin to recalling a dream. In reading 2072-10, Cayce was directly questioned about whether cremation affects the soul's journey. His response was groundbreaking. He stated that cremation facilitates a faster release of the soul's connection to its physical form compared to conventional burial. The flames, he clarified, act as a symbolic and energetic purification that aids the soul in moving to elevated states of consciousness. However, what Cayce disclosed next is something that many are unaware of. The timing of cremation is incredibly significant. In reading 575-66-4, which I referenced earlier, Cayce pointed out that if cremation occurs too soon after death, specifically within the initial 24 to 72 hours, the soul may encounter what he referred to as confusion rather than experiencing pain. This confusion arises because the soul has not yet completely detached from the physical form. Allow me to present a documented instance that exemplifies this clearly. In 1936, a woman from Norfolk, Virginia, reached out to Cayce regarding her husband, who had unexpectedly passed away in a car accident. The family opted for a prompt cremation, yet she was plagued by dreams in which her husband appeared troubled and bewildered. During Reading 1786-2, Cayce disclosed that her husband's spirit was indeed in a state of confusion due to the cremation occurring before he had fully come to terms with being separate from his physical form. Cayce clarified that in instances of unexpected death, the soul often requires additional time to comprehend its circumstances and finalize its detachment from the material world. However, here's the fascinating aspect. Cayce assured the grieving widow that her husband's disorientation was only temporary, and that her prayers and loving intentions were genuinely aiding him in adapting to his new state of awareness. Just a few weeks after obtaining this reading, the woman's unsettling dreams ceased, and she started encountering serene experiences where her husband seemed tranquil and at ease. This leads us to a deeper insight that Cayce shared regarding cremation and reincarnation. In more than 40 distinct life readings, Cayce elaborated on how the treatment of the physical body post-death can affect our subsequent life. However, it's not as many tend to believe. Cayce asserted that when cremation is performed with appropriate timing and spiritual purpose, it can genuinely assist the soul in liberating itself from what he referred to as earthly bonds. He clarified that these attachments represent emotional and mental connections that anchor the soul to the physical realm, hindering its advancement to elevated states of consciousness. This is where things become particularly intriguing regarding your spiritual growth. In Reading 262-86, Cayce was inquired about the differences in reincarnation between those who opt for cremation and those who are interred. His response was captivating. He indicated that the way a body is disposed of does not influence reincarnation. Rather, it is the individual's consciousness and spiritual progress that matter. Nonetheless, he shared some astonishing insights regarding spiritual readiness. Cayce clarified that individuals who deliberately opt for cremation in alignment with their spiritual convictions typically exhibit a degree of disconnection from the physical world, which enables them to advance more swiftly between incarnations. However, there's even more startling information that Cayce disclosed concerning awareness and the process of dying. In Reading 57493, Cayce stated that the soul does not merely detach from the body upon death. Rather, consciousness navigates through what he referred to as 7 transitional stages. He mentioned that cremation can expedite these phases by eliminating the tangible link that binds the soul to the material realm. Allow me to explain these 7 stages, as grasping this information might transform your perception of death for good. The first stage happens at the time of death, when the soul starts to detach from the physical body. According to Cayce, this experience resembles awakening from a profound slumber. The soul quickly comes to the realization that it is no longer required to have a physical body to continue existing. Stage 2, referred to by Cayce as the review phase, involves a period in which the soul reflects on the life it has just lived. Spanning anywhere from a few hours to several days, this stage is not focused on judgment. Instead, it serves as an opportunity for the soul to grasp the spiritual lessons learned during its earthly existence. Stage 3, known as the choice phase, is when the soul makes a decision about whether to advance to higher dimensions or to linger close to the earth plane. Cayce clarified that souls with deep ties to the material world frequently opt to remain near the physical realm during this phase. This is the point at which cremation gains spiritual importance. He disclosed that the flames employed in cremation act as a metaphorical passage, assisting the soul in navigating through stages 456 and 7 with greater ease. However, what might truly astonish you about Edgar Cayce's insights on cremation is that in his reading from 1947 to 3, he was questioned about the impact of cremation on the soul's capacity to connect with those remaining on Earth. His response challenged common beliefs regarding spiritual communication. Cayce clarified that cremation actually boosts the soul's capacity to connect with the living, as it eliminates the energetic link to the deteriorating physical body. He noted that when a body is buried, some of the soul's energy stays attached to the physical form during its gradual decomposition. This he termed as static interference in spiritual communication. In contrast, cremation liberates the soul's energy entirely from physical substances, facilitating clearer interactions with loved ones via dreams, meditation, and various spiritual experiences. I would like to present to you a documented case that exemplifies this principle remarkably well. In 1941, a woman living in Virginia Beach received reading 3.7442 following the death of her daughter from pneumonia. Despite opposition from family members who believed that cremation would hinder their connection to their daughter, the family decided to proceed with that choice. Cayce explained that their decision was influenced by their daughter's spirit, which sought to release itself from earthly ties in order to assist her family from beyond. Within a few months after the cremation, the family started to experience vivid dreams and signs indicating that their daughter was not only at peace, but was also actively watching over them. However, the most significant insight that Cayce offered regarding cremation and consciousness is this. While interpreting 575614, Cayce articulated that cremation acts as a form of spiritual cleansing, aiding the soul in releasing not only its physical connections, but also emotional and mental habits that no longer benefit its highest purpose. Consider it analogously. When you no longer fit your old clothes, you either give them away or discard them. According to Cayce, cremation enables the soul to return its physical body to the universe, while retaining only the spiritual wisdom and love necessary for its progression in future lives. This is the reason Cayce frequently suggested cremation for those who had dedicated their lives to spiritual growth and helping others. He believed that such souls were prepared to let go of their ties to physical life and advance rapidly in their spiritual journey. However, what can be said about the anxiety many feel regarding cremation? In the reading 136-83, Cayce tackled this issue head-on. He noted that the apprehension surrounding cremation often stems from a misinterpretation of consciousness. Many individuals worry that cremation might injure or obliterate the soul. However, Cayce clarified that consciousness exists entirely apart from the physical form. To illustrate this point, he offered a striking analogy. He compared the bond between the soul and the body to the connection between a person and their home. When a person vacates a house, their existence doesn't end simply because the structure is demolished. In a similar vein, when the soul departs from the body, it persists in existence, independent of the fate of the physical entity. This idea prompts significant reflection on your own spiritual path. According to Cayce, individuals who engage in profound spiritual practices throughout their lives, such as meditation, prayer, and altruism, undergo the processes of death and transition in a markedly different manner compared to those who concentrate mainly on worldly matters. In his commentary on 1472-12, Cayce stated that those with a developed spiritual awareness often view death as a joyful liberation instead of a distressing parting. For such souls, cremation is seen as a celebration of their spiritual evolution beyond physical life. Here's what Cayce shared regarding the preparation for one's own death and transition. In reading 5749-6, he articulated that the most effective way to prepare for death is to embrace it without fear, instead focusing on living each day with spiritual mindfulness and assisting others. He noted that souls who cultivate their spiritual abilities during their lifetime and apply these gifts to help others experience a smoother transition, no matter if they opt for cremation or burial. Additionally, Cayce disclosed an intriguing insight into the timing of our deaths. In reading 3744-4, he clarified that souls actively take part in deciding when and how they will exit their physical bodies. This suggests that your attraction to cremation may stem from your soul recognizing it as beneficial for your transition and future spiritual evolution. Now, let's explore how this relates to your current spiritual journey. Cayce emphasized that comprehending death and what follows isn't solely about readying yourself for your own passage. It also encompasses grasping the genuine essence of consciousness and how this awareness can enhance your spiritual fulfillment in the present. In readings 254-68, Cayce pointed out that souls who are aware of the transient nature of physical life are more inclined to concentrate on nurturing their spiritual abilities and aiding others. Individuals who embrace this perspective are often more inclined to experience joy and tranquility during their lives, as they are not overwhelmed by a fear of death. However, the most significant insight that Cayce provided regarding cremation and spiritual growth is this. According to reading 5756-27, the selection between cremation and burial carries less weight than the awareness and intention behind that decision. What truly counts is that the choice is made out of love, spiritual insight, and a mindful consideration of the soul's ongoing journey. Additionally, Cayce pointed out that family members who opt for cremation with the aim of supporting the spiritual advancement of their loved ones can indeed aid this progression through their compassionate thoughts and prayers. This leads us to an important insight regarding how Cayce's insights on cremation can enhance your spiritual practice in the present day. Cayce clarified that reflecting on consciousness and the afterlife through meditation aids in cultivating what he referred to as spiritual sight. This ability allows us to recognize the spiritual aspects of reality while we are still embodied. In his reading 262-15, Cayce provided specific methods for meditation aimed at nurturing this spiritual sight. He recommended dedicating time each day to reflect on the impermanence of physical existence, alongside the everlasting nature of consciousness. He stated that this practice enhances our spiritual awareness and reduces our fear of death. However, there is something that can assist you immediately on your spiritual path. Cayce taught that souls who acknowledge the concept of reincarnation and the ongoing nature of consciousness tend to find a deeper sense of peace and purpose in their lives. They recognize that each experience, relationship, and challenge serves as a chance for spiritual development. In his reading 1947-4, Cayce elaborated that this understanding equips us to tackle difficult circumstances with more wisdom and compassion. Instead of being consumed by fleeting physical or emotional struggles, we can view them as valuable opportunities for our souls to learn and progress. Here's a way to integrate Edgar Cayce's insights on cremation and consciousness into your spiritual routine today. Begin by dedicating time to meditate on the essence of consciousness and its connection to the physical form. Cayce noted that engaging in this practice enhances our spiritual awareness and diminishes our fixation on worldly matters. Next, focus on sending heartfelt thoughts and prayers to those dear to you who have transitioned, regardless of whether their remains were cremated or interred. Cayce emphasized that this expression of love aids souls on their spiritual paths and fortifies the lasting connections between them. Thirdly, utilize Cayce's insights on death and transition to engage more deeply in the present. When we genuinely grasp that consciousness endures while physical life is fleeting, we can concentrate on what is truly significant: our spiritual growth and helping others. Lastly, reflect on how your personal beliefs about death and what comes after influence your daily spiritual practices. Cayce suggested that a fear of death can hinder individuals from fully accepting their spiritual abilities and living with true intention. The revelations Edgar Cayce shared regarding cremation and consciousness provide us with a meaningful gift. The recognition that death represents not a conclusion, but rather a transformation, is essential. This insight can liberate us from the grip of fear, allowing us to embrace life with deeper spiritual awareness and intention. As we wrap up this exploration of Edgar Cayce's extraordinary insights regarding cremation and consciousness, I wish to leave you with a final contemplation. In his readings from 5749 to 14, Cayce emphasized that the soul's journey is everlasting, with each experience, death and transition included, serving as an opportunity for spiritual development and advancement. Regardless of whether you opt for cremation or burial for yourself or your loved ones, the key is that this decision is made with love, spiritual comprehension, and faith in the soul's ongoing journey toward elevated consciousness. If this information has expanded your perspective on spiritual opportunities, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay updated on our forthcoming videos regarding Edgar Cayce's insights into reincarnation, healing, and prophecy. Additionally, we encourage you to share this video with anyone who could gain from these deep spiritual revelations. Your willingness to share assists in disseminating these transformative teachings to those who need them the most. Please leave a comment below and share your own reflections on cremation and consciousness. Have you encountered any experiences that support the insights Edgar Cayce discussed in his readings? I appreciate all the comments and enjoy learning about your spiritual paths. Keep in mind that the teachings of Edgar Cayce emphasize that we are spiritual entities experiencing life as humans, and that death merely serves as a threshold to the next phase of our soul's everlasting journey. Recognizing this fundamental truth can change not only our perspective on death, but also influence how we decide to live each valuable moment of our earthly lives.